We'll try and get the graphics as soon as we can. Your grid then for your cadet pre-A final. Ellis Cox will start this one on pole position in the number 38. Joseph Mills alongside him in 31. Bertie Hodgson and Lewis Tracy are row number 2, with Oliver Peters and Ayrton Lima Evans rounding out the third row of the grid. Oliver Yangu is next with Finley Strang alongside, and then it's Hayden Adams and Miles Harrison to round out your top 10. Peter Lee and Jacob Cipregi are on row number 6. It'll be Matteo Ehrenfeuchter and Charlie Cipregi who make up row number 7. Row number 8 will be Elijah Hazelwood and Joseph East. Thomas Welsford and Adi Manu are row number 9, and your confirmed promotees from the cadet pre-B final will be Lewis Prendergast and Leo Edger, which is good because that's how we called them across the line, so we didn't make a mistake there. That was indeed a penalty for Zane Perry that came to apply there. So here we go then into our first A-tier race of the day. 130 points on offer for the winner of this one, remember, and that is equal to what you get in the finals, as I reminded at the very top of the stream. We use the term pre-final and final. It does determine trophy wins towards the end of the day, but in terms of championship points, they're evenly weighted. Your winner in both the pre-A final and the A final back at Rye House for round 1 was Matteo Ehrenfeuchter. He starts this one from 13th. The odds are that we are looking at the potential for a different winner here. Here we go then. Ellis Cox leads them away in the number 38 as they stream through paddock, club corner, for the first time on this one. The wonderful sight of a pack of Club 100 cadet carts heading up the hill. Looks to me like it's been a decent start from Lewis Tracy in the number 12 card. I think he might have got himself up into second place indeed. Was he able to challenge Ellis Cox as they go through the corner for the first time and down through Carousel? Still...
Cox still holds the lead, but yeah, under intense pressure there from the green helmeted youngster you believe is Lewis Tracy. Started in 4th. Yeah,
indeed. It is indeed Lewis Tracy in second place in that number 12 car, who's had a great start to the race. Is that Oliver Peters as well, who's got through? We're going to just confirm this one as they come across the line. It is. Oliver Peters in the 15 has also had a great start to get up into 13th. So it's Ellis Cox who's retained the lead, which is not always so easy around this GYG circuit on the first lap, but he's managed to make it work. Lewis Tracy is right in his slipstream though now, and with a little bit of breathing space to Oliver Peters behind. This is an opportunity for Lewis Tracy to challenge, but that's really nice positioning from Ellis Cox there as they stream through through the spoon section of the lap. In 4th place, you've got you've got Bertie Hodgson as they come round the top part of the lap.
It's been a good first lap for Oliver Peters, for Oliver Yangu, and for Matteo Ehrenfeuchter, who's made his way up to 7th. He's made the biggest gains on that first lap, which mentioned he started 13th after winning both the pre-A and the A final at Rye House. He's doing all right for now, but he's got 6 more places to get if he wants another win here in this. Ellis Cox still holds that lead from Lewis Tracy. You can see going up the hill there. Ellis is along here flapping in the wind, coming out the back of his helmet. We spoke to Ellis earlier in the paddock show. Yes. Have a rewind to lunchtime if you want to find that.
Absolutely, it's always a very distinctive. You can always spot Ellis in that regard with his hair there, and he's controlling this one really well at the front of the race. The fastest lap of the race at the moment is actually with the driver down in 14th place. That is Ayrton Lima Evans in the number 65. Early laps yet in the race, but good initial pace and showing how strong. I mean, you can see the string of karts here in the cadets. This is what we get with cadet racing. Massive slipstream effect from a huge string of karts, all lying astern. Coming on to lap number 4 then. And once again, Lewis Tracy, you can see the gesticulation there from Oliver Peters to say, can we work together to catch up to these guys? He doesn't want a challenge from Bertie Hodgson behind in that number 61 kart.
Bertie seemed to give him the okay for it as well.
Yeah, this is always the thing. Is it's always difficult for the driver in front to get the message that you've acknowledged it.
Yes.
Yeah, but to be fair, they've had a great first set to there. They're now right on the tail of Lewis Tracy. So I'd say Peters and Hodgson have done a really good job of bringing themselves into this one. Then there is Oliver Yangu in the 18, who's defending sort of the next pack, as it were. Joseph Mills, Matteo Ehrenfeuchter, Hayden Adams, Miles Harrison, all in that pack.
I think Ehrenfeuchter's got ahead of Mills there for 6th place, as it looked to be him challenging Yangu for 5th. We'll confirm that now as they come over the line. Yes, for Ehrenfeuchter up to 6th. The front two have a little bit of a gap now going up the hill.
And interesting, that looked to me like Ellis Cox was giving the gesture to say, let's work together to pull out a bit of a gap. I think he's detected that the others have caught up here, and he's trying to appeal to Lewis Tracy to say, let's pull back away from them so we can enjoy our fight in peace. As they head down the hill, the sun streaming back down on the circuit here at GYG, which is lovely to see. And carousel they come, tricky double apex left-hander, and then it's about going through this right-hander and positioning yourself nicely for the compression through this right-hander. You don't want to throw it all at that, otherwise you'll compromise your line through the left-hander. So it's about getting a late apex there, then through Devil's Elbow and getting drive again as you come down through the dip, and positioning yourself as well as possible for paddock, which leads on to crucial. Obviously you've got club corner, but exit from paddock corner is crucial to have a good run here up the Dragon Straight on a new lap. And another gesture there from Bertie Hodgson as Oliver Yangu has been able to break away from the pack behind him and has caught up onto the back of Bertie Hodgson here. So really good few laps from Oliver Yangu there to bring himself back into play in this top 5. Oh, and there's an incident there. Miles Harrison is round. I think he's the only one to be facing the wrong way off the back of that one. But that would have been from around about 6th, 7th or 8th place sort of region. It's a costly moment there for the driver of the number 22, the driver who comes into today second in the championship and finished there last season. That was a costly moment for Miles.
Yeah, the 3rd and a 2nd at Rye, but it looks like the podium might elude him in this race. Cox still leads, Tracy 2nd, Oliver Peters 3rd, Bertie Hodgson 4th, Oliver Yangu in 5th. Ehrenfeuchter now, you can see there on his own slightly. He's a bit behind the top 5, but a bit ahead of the remaining pack, now headed by Ayrton Lima Evans in 7th after that incident there for the number 22 of Miles Harrison. Then we've got Elijah Hayward and then the siblings whose surname is extremely hard to pronounce for someone of my reading difficulties, but Chipregis are 9th and 10th. Lewis Prendergast, who made his way up from the pre-C final, is up to 11th, a strong showing from him.
Yes, indeed, just under 5 minutes left on the clock then. Ellis Cox leads this one. Lewis Tracy, though, keeping him very honest at the front of this one. In fact, we've got a breakaway pack of 5 here. Ellis Cox, Lewis Tracy, Oliver Peters, Bertie Hodgson and Oliver Yangu. And then Matteo Ehrenfeuchter has buoyed himself to the front of the next pack ahead of Ayrton Lehman Evans, Elijah Hazelwood as well. We haven't mentioned Elijah that much so far, but the driver who carries that number 3 plate, courtesy of finishing in 3rd place in the championship last year, is there in 8th place. Charlie Cipregi and Jacob Cipregi round out the top 10. Into carousel come our top 5.
I think I saw Ellis Cox give a little thumbs up going up the hill that time. I would assume that's for Lewis Tracy pushing him, but not pushing him off.
Yeah, we haven't spoken that much about bump drafting, but again, that's something else that comes into play here. You can use the slipstream to try and overtake, or you can basically just power. You can line yourself up in series, basically. 2 kart engines better than one being the principal, and push yourselves forward. See it very often in NASCAR.
Yeah, there's a thumbs up once again from Cox. It looks like they are bump drafting up that straight. Ehrenfeuchter looks like he's dropped back into the pack behind rather than catching up with this. And you can see at the back of these shots now that he's been caught up by Lima Evans and the Cipregi siblings. Coming down the hill, Cox, another thumbs up, or is he might just be stretching his hand there. He's done it a number of times.
He could be giving the thumbs up. It could be, I mean, you know.
And in fact, one of the Cipregis has got past Ehrenfeuchter.
Yeah.
For 6th, just behind there.
So Elijah Hazelwood has got
Hazelwood, yeah.
Yeah.
The number 3, 3rd in the championship currently after finishing in 2nd and 7th at Rye House. Now looking to add a 6th to his tally for the year.
Here we go again. Oliver Peters, though, is right with them this time. If anything, he can help them bump draft if he is so inclined. Or is he there to, you know, disrupt the battle somewhat? Elijah Hazelwood with the fastest lap of the race as well, as he gets by on Matteo Ehrenfeuchter. That's a wide moment for Ellis Cox. That is a wide moment for Ellis Cox, and is that going to give the opportunity? He's going to be on the inside. It's going to have to be a move around the outside for Lewis Tracy if he's going to make it stick. He doesn't make it stick, but that leaves him exposed to attack from Oliver Peters. Can Peters find a way through? I'm not sure he can. And after all of that drama, it stays as they were, but it's brought Bertie Hodgson closer onto the back of Peters, and it's brought Oliver Yangu closer as well. And that fastest lap of the race from Elijah Hazelwood is significant because he now begins his bid to break away from this second pack behind and catch up to this pack. He wants to join this party as well, does Hazelwood. I think you can see the possibilities of a good, there's definitely a good opportunity for him here. If these drivers start to battle, and surely they will, as we get into the late game of this race, there could be real opportunity here for Elijah Hazelwood if he can retain the lead of that group, which he's under challenge, definitely being challenged by Ehrenfeuchter and Ayrton Lima Evans as well in that 65 car. So there's quite a few different plots here that need to play out over the course of the next minute and a half or so.
Yeah, nothing so far this lap from Lewis Tracy, but that last lap was definitely an indication of how long is left in this race. Just a minute and a half showing they'll complete this lap. We'll watch out for the last lap board as they come across. I think they might just sneak in.
They might get two
more,
mightn't they?
We will see now.
Yeah.
We'll find out in the next 5 seconds or so. But Tracy is certainly going to look to challenge Ellis Cox on this last lap, on this next lap, regardless of if it's the last lap, and it isn't, Howard. We'll get 2 more.
Penultimate lap then. Once again, the bump draft gestures going on between the top two. They've just managed to steal away a little bit again from Oliver Peters in 3rd place. In fact, Peters up under a little bit of pressure from Hodgson, it looks to me, as once again Hazelwood is absorbing a lot of pressure as well. Stays as they were once again between himself, Ehrenfeuchter, and Lima Evans. But a good little battle. There's Matteo Ehrenfeuchter going a little bit defensive in the number 6 car, but he goes out wide at the carousel, and that's going to allow Ayrton Lima Evans to get by, surely, unless he can keep his foot in it on the inside. No, he can't. So that is a move there for 7th place. Ayrton Lima Evans up to 7th at the cost of Matteo Ehrenfeuchter. And he's racing well, make no mistake about that, but it's definitely looking unlikely that we'll see a repeat performance of his results from Rye House. Here we go then. On to the last lap. Ellis Cox has been controlling this one brilliantly throughout the race. Has Lewis Tracy been assessing where the opportunity may be on this last lap for him to put a move in on the lead of the race? Surely Ellis Cox will go a bit shallow on the entry into this corner. Indeed he does. And it's allowing Oliver Peters to close right up to them as well. On the run down towards Carousel, he's going to stay to the racing line as Ellis Cox. Doesn't think anyone's close enough to go for the move. And he's right in that assessment. Controlling this one brilliantly is Ellis. It's not just about throwing nice defensive moves. He's knowing when not to throw the moves as well and keep up the momentum. Bertie Hodgson is closing in on Oliver Peters, but as they come down through the corner, it's going to take something special for them to put in a move here. Coming round Paddock Corner then, Ellis Cox has controlled this one beautifully, and he's going to take the win in the Pre-A final for lightweight cadets for round 2 here at GYG. Lewis Tracy finishes 2nd, Oliver Peters in 3rd, Bertie Hodgson in 4th, ahead of Oliver Yangu. Elijah Hazelwood hung on for 6th there, with Matteo Ehrenfeuchter in 7th place. Ayrton Lima Evans in 8th, 9th for Charlie Cipraghi, and Hayden Adams rounds out your top 10. There weren't actually huge numbers of moves in some ways, but a highly entertaining race there nonetheless there, Jacob. Some really good driving.
Great stuff from all our cadets. Looking forward to the A final later on this afternoon. But first, we move on to our junior lightweight Pre-A.